Hello, everybody. I'm Steve, and behind me right here is my puppy dog Bella, taking resting on the top of the couch, and my trusty no other side. There we go. Manner, but it's okay, Bella. But anyways, I'll talk about This Is Us episode, the review, not preview, review of the latest episode of This Is Us. Get to my notes here. Excuse me, sorry about that. This is Us, most recent episode, Flip a Coin. And we'll start off with a quote I wanted to share. It's overwhelming if you think about it, Kevin says near the end of this week's This Is Us. The power of these little decisions. It nicely sums up an episode in which characters make quiet, but impactful choices that change trajectories, whether of a day, a mood, or indeed a life. So, join me here in this journey as I break down the good, the bad, the ugly, the interesting and big moments, at least I found from the episode. Let's break down the roads each Pearson travels and flip a coin with each character. So let's start with Rebecca. Becky, whatever you want to call her. Flip a coin returns to the period immediately following Jack's death for the first time this season, with Randall off to college and Kate stuck at home with Rebecca. But it's parents' weekend, which means Rebecca is off to see Randall, leaving Kate alone, all alone. As Rebecca arrives for lunch with Randall in the cafeteria, she notices her son's attention cannot be kept. He's distracted. He's looking out into the distance at another table, specifically where his new crush, Beth, is hanging out with her mother, Carol. Rebecca catches on. She remembers her son had mentioned dating a girl named Beth, and so she walks right over and introduces herself. Randall, like behind. And with that, she asks if she can sit, as Carol looks on, a little bewildered. Randall admits, perhaps mistakenly, that he and Beth went on a date. Eventually, the two kids skirt away from the awkwardness, and we'll get more into that later, but leaving Rebecca with Carol. They bond over sharing widowhood, but while Carol considers herself together, she sees Rebecca struggling. She describes starting a new chapter in life, a sentiment Rebecca takes to heart. When Rebecca returns to her apartment and reunites with Kate, who, while Rebecca was gone, landed a job at a record store. So, there you go. She realizes she herself needs to turn the page. She listens to the Harold King record. Kate Barton tells her it's time for them to find a home. It's time for them to turn the page. Now on to Kate. Not much in the world of Kate this week, at least as far as the present timeline goes. She and Toby gearing up to take baby Jack to his first baby music class way out in the valley. Toby is unsure if he's ready, but Kate believes it's a great idea. Something Jack can do without judgment or limitation. Toby forces them to run late, however, leading the family to walk into the class mid-session. It's too much stimulus for Jack to handle. He sobs through it all, Kate and Toby struggling to get through it themselves. On the ride home, they fight over going at all, over leaving late, over the struggles of raising a blind son. But they make their way back to each other as they keep driving. The only thing that calms baby Jack down, and Toby suggests they take it one step at a time. Indeed. Hold on. Hold on. Just wanted to watch this part of it. Hotel Transylvania movie, so I apologize. Oh, sorry about that. I just wanted to watch that part of it. Though I've seen the movie many times. But anyways, moving on to the next character, Randall. We'll stick to the present day action for this particular story in regards to his case. It's the day of Beth's dance class opening, which has Randall anxious for one particular reason. Carol is coming to town, and she and Randall don't get along very well at all. Or at least Randall thinks so, and he says. Things are immediately tense, sustainable between husband and mother in law, at least until they enter the studio space, which smells like nothing. They bring in an exterminator, and it becomes clear there's that rat carcass in the walls of the studio. But while Beth tries to work through this problem, Randall has bigger fish to fry. Deidre brings Malik to the studio to meet the family, per Beth's wishes. He and Randall get on well enough, but when Malik drops that he has a child, something he perhaps may assumed Deidre told her parents, Randall is thrown for a loop. And when the exterminator reveals the horrid smell will last for at least a week, Carol says they'll have to reschedule the grand opening. But Randall stands up for his wife. He says they won't move the date. And he gets to work moving everything outside. The event is ultimately a success, and Carol admits to him that while she thought he was wrong for her daughter, when they first met all those years ago, she sees his strength now and his love for Beth. Indeed, that is definitely shown. Done by Randall there. In regards to the relationship with Beth, strengthening because what we see in past episodes, you know what I mean? Let alone past seasons. But now, I go through everything and even current thing. Little moments like that. Yeah. But anyways, moving on to Beth. Going back to the past timeline as we see Beth and when Randall and Rebecca join her and her mother. She's fairly let's not forget she was a bit conflicted about her feelings for Randall after their first date, and her mother is very clearly unapproving of a relationship between them moving forward. Later, when she's with her mother alone, Beth asks how she and Rebecca got along. Carol says fine, but that the family is far too broken for Beth. She says she deserved better than that. But Beth remembers a tiny moment from their lunch with their parents when Randall discreetly handed her a lemon wedge. Why? She goes to his dorm suddenly to ask him, and he tells her when they went on a date, she ordered a Coke with lemon, and here, she had a Coke without one. She's deeply moved, stunned, maybe, by the consideration. She walks right toward him and kisses him. It's a small decision, but a life-changing one nonetheless. And Kevin. The other big storyline in this episode concerns Kevin, who is getting himself more and more into Nikki's life. As they're headed to another AA meeting, they run into who else? Jennifer Morrison's Cassidy, who is chewing out someone for not notifying her that the meeting had been rescheduled. Kevin listens and finally talks to her. Cassidy says that her husband said she wanted to proceed with their divorce and that, well, she really needs a meeting right now. Kevin figures they have 5 hours to kill, I'm an actor. I'm great at filling up free time, he says. So they go trailer shopping. Nikki's place is gross and leaky, and Kevin wants to buy him a new one. Even if Nikki will never go for it, Cassidy goes along. As they browse, Kevin keeps getting stopped by fans of The Manny. Seriously, I love the TV show The Nanny, but anyways. And as he's at the transitional point in his life, he's meditating on that show's impact on his life, and how he launched his career, how its cancellation threw him for a loop, and thinking back to filming the pilot where Kate was by his side. Jesse can only laugh, recalling his pain at these memories. She's a military vet suffering from PTSD, after all. But as she watches more and more people go up to him, she realizes he's lived a strange life. She says she was being a dick to him. He smiles in friendly acknowledgement that she was and understands why. Kevin is reevaluating what he wants. He remembers one moment filming the Manny pilot where he admitted to Kate he'd rather it not get picked up. He'd been in LA for so long and was ready to hunt for meaning and solace. And of course, life did not work out or go the way you want it to. Never does. But in a way, it did work out. In a way, what was supposed to happen happened. You know, God's plan. But here with Cassidy and Nikki, he sees a new opening, and as so he buys a trailer for himself, parked right next to Nikki's, and he tells Cassidy he's going to help her win her husband back. But of course, Kevin's always been a man of action. As the ending of this episode reminds us, he'd been engaged before too. We flash back to Rebecca and Kate at home, listening to a voicemail by Kevin, also away. He runs through the motions of how things are going. Then he says he's engaged as if he's talking about the weather. He knows a thing or two about dramatic life shakeups. Indeed. But like I always say on the great episodes, highly enjoyed it. That be for sure. I think you guys watch the review. The puppy dog stayed there for the whole video. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Leave a like, share your comments, and above all else, as always, take care.